Hello and welcome back to the funniest Thomas videos. This week it's number 4, and today I had a hard time trying to pick what I would want for number 4 in terms of funniest Thomas videos. And this one may come as quite a shock to most viewers, because most viewers of the fandom can differentiate between horror and comedy. This one is kind of a mix of both. Although the context of it is supposed to be disturbing and it's supposed to be horror and oriented, the first time I watched it after hearing so much about it, I laughed. I don't know why I laughed. Maybe because I kept thinking this was satirical in a way, and it was done in such a way where it's like there's some bits of it where how can you not laugh at it? So this will come as quite a shock, and it may be shocking to a lot of fans when I say Shed17 is number 4 on the funniest Thomas videos. Yeah, you were not expecting that, were you? How something that's such horror-oriented and with a disturbing content within it could be seen as funny. Well, I will explain. First of all, this story does not hold back whatsoever. It jumps you into that whole idea that there was a intelligent Nazi Germany scientist who, at the time, was quite disrespected among his peers, especially with human genealogy. And thus, when he saw the opportunity to put a deceased boy's DNA into the blank expression of a tank engine, he did just that, and out came Thomas the Tank Engine. And the whole concept of it is so ridiculous, plus the animation for the characters itself, which I will say is pretty amazing considering the production value of this from 8 years ago. All the Photoshop work done is really good. All the plotline developing, all the custom characters are really good as well. But at the same time, you can't help but laugh a little bit. Even when we learn about Sir Topham Hatt and how he came to power on the railroad, it's watching videos like this, like they're gonna send this to Human Resources as abuse of power and should get him removed from his position. The way they introduced the Fat Controller is hysterical.
Appointed a new controller.
Boy, get off my f***ing platform!
Sir Topham Hatt. Born into money, he took his ridiculous name to heart and started wearing a top hat all the time. Of course, the islanders had a different name for him.
Fat bastard. You've never met such a cold-hearted as him.
Like, how can you now laugh at that? It's something that's trying to be taken seriously. It's trying to be, serious about this. But all the jokes write itself there. And I might sound extremely insensitive here when I say that when Thomas the kid gets hit by a train, it's really funny. I can't help it. It's really funny and stupid to watch, but I can't fucking help it.
Following railway, he'd be out all the time, hoping to catch a new train on his camera.
The 11:45's coming through soon.
He won't wait for us.
Unfortunately, he didn't take as much notice of the safety signs.
I'm not being late again.
Have we missed it yet? Wait for the 11:45.
Never mind the 11:45.
It must be late again.
Tommy, come on.
It's always held up.
Maybe it's because I got a sick sense of humor or something like that. I think it was his watching his arm twirl off like an awkward glitched out boomerang is what got me. Just look at it. The way it fucking just goes. The explanation of the tragedy is like how any explanation of a tragedy would go. Except for one thing. The kid's body is missing. Instead it was taken by a fucking lab associate of the professor blah 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 into Shed17, and out comes Thomas the Tank Engine after months of fucking work.
Research were reopened. In an open invitation to the people of the island, Thomas rolled out of Shed17.
It took me a moment to realise what it was I was looking at. When he looked at me and said,
Hiya, Mr. Hartley.
it dawned on me what Hans Gertzer and his dad had done. One woman passed out as Thomas smiled at us. I had to run off around the side of the shed.
Hey, are you alright, Keith?
When this big reveal scene happened, I don't know why. Everybody else probably saw this and was like, oh my god, so this is the reason why the trains have faces. In the meantime, I was doing this. I think the reason why I find it so funny is because I grew up with Thomas the Tank Engine not questioning why the trains had faces and not needing a scientific explanation behind it. But it's the fact that the production value and also how this video was produced and all the work that went into it to explain that Thomas is the corpse of a dead kid's DNA, body, and soul inside of an anthropomorphic huge steam locomotive is just a concept so outrageous and disturbing in such a way that it comes off as satirical. And I think the creator of this video knew that too. While this video probably frightened some young fans when it came out 8 years ago in 2015, I think that if I watched this as a 15-year-old again, I would still laugh at it. It's one of those things where it's like some things you just don't question about a franchise. You just don't question. You establish the world, you establish the lore, you establish everything that goes on and understand it, and that's it. But it's when someone takes something to a literal level that it becomes uncannily funny in a way. Which is why Shed17 is number 4 on my funniest Thomas videos. Thank you guys for watching. This is no disrespect to the creator of this that really wanted to lean towards the disturbing and more horror-filled content of the Thomas fandom. I absolutely love Paul's vids, and I think you should too. If you haven't seen his other work, I recommend you go check out his channel, which I will link in the description. Hopefully he sees this video and is able to laugh at it along with me. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Held up.